What's up? Welcome back to my channel, or for the first time if you're new, I'm Sylvan, and today I'm going to be reacting to Ineffa's character teaser, Gift from the Artificed. I'm very interested to see what we get here exactly, seeing as Ineffa is sort of our bridge into Nod Cry in many ways. So I very much could see us getting a few more drops about some stuff related to Nod Cry, but it also might tie into her Natlan connection that it seems like she has. Either way, we'll find out soon enough. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and consider becoming a channel member if you want to support me, just that little bit extra, and let's get into this. Okay, a little robot. Presumably this is in the workshop or something. Ooh, interesting sound, music-wise.
Not responding.
Ooh, Ino constructing her. I did not notice Ino has the, bolt in her hair.
Maybe she needs more prompts.
Huh, so we're seeing her construction. Interesting. Not where I thought we would start.
From now on, your name's Ineffa. Right. And also, my name's Ino.
Interesting. Oh, I love this art style-wise. Interesting. Aw, it's a fucking witch's broom. Okay.
Ineffa.
Huh.
Why won't you wake up?
Aw. I know, and some other person as robots.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, I'm gonna
Oh,
lose
I think we've seen one of those creatures.
My inventions aren't useless. I'm never making him anything again.
Huh.
You're a dumb stray kid with no family.
Oh my
No
God.
wonder your work is trash.
Okay.
I have a family. It's right here. My
Aw.
robots, my screws, and you.
God, the animation is so good here, but... Ooh. Is that Ineffa before she was created? Oh. Interesting. Yeah, and then the core ended up in a scrap heap.
I'm a little cold. You're kind of cold too.
She is a robot.
Ineffa.
Oh, she's moving. So this was essentially the birth of Ineffa, in quotes. Oh, and she's already making breakfast.
Good morning, Ino. I am Ineffa.
Aww.
From now on, this is my home.
Yeah. Okay. Incredibly wholesome. This is an absolute delight of a teaser. It's fully animated, it's in a cool style. I love it. Visually, it's distinct, it's colorful, it pops, and it's an incredibly interesting moment to focus on, all things considered, because we really haven't ever had a character like Ineffa before, in the sense that we've never had a machine. We've gotten technically close in the form of Scaramouche and to an extent the Raiden Shogun, but this is much more explicitly so, where that is more so just an aspect of Scaramouche's character rather than the defining feature about him. But as I described it before, this is essentially the birth of Ineffa in her current state, in her current name, in her current identity. We watch as Ino struggles to make her function. We already heard from the special program for 5.8 that Ino just scrounged her together from a ton of random parts, but now we see sort of a bit of that process, the very end of that process. Ino's not entirely sure why she isn't working. Ineffa's body is complete, she just hasn't woken up yet. But interestingly enough, we can see very distinctly something is missing here. Ineffa does not have her source core yet. Evidently, that serves in some way as her heart, or her soul, or consciousness, or whatever you want to call it. That is what Ineffa is missing in this moment. But in an interesting way, as we follow through this, because we are watching the process of Ineffa becoming Ineffa, this almost becomes more of an Ino teaser as well, because we watch this struggle of Ino, we learn a little bit more about Ino, we see her thought process, how she handles these kinds of things. It gives us more of an understanding of what led up to Ineffa's creation by telling us more about the creator. And as she's just trying different things, Aino ends up just sort of calling out to Ineffa, saying, "Hey, can you hear me? From now on, your name's Ineffa." Giving her her name, asking if she can hear her. It sort of gives the vibe that Aino is very intelligent and capable and dedicated to her work, but that she is also a bit childish. But interestingly enough, obviously Ineffa doesn't really respond. She doesn't have her source core yet or anything like that. But when Aino introduces herself, so after she's been given a name and her creator has given their name, she wakes up, her eyes open. But she isn't in reality yet. It's almost as if her consciousness, her sense of being has begun to develop, but it's not fully there yet. She lacks that power source. So we see her in this more subconscious state, where it's very abstract and there's just random stuff around her. Notably behind her, the one notable thing we can make out of the background is this rough heart shape. Perhaps can be interpreted as being within her heart, within her soul, that kind of thing. But we watch as she sort of just comes into consciousness, looks around a little bit, looks down at her hands. What's going on? Who am I? What is all of this? And from outside of herself, presumably just Aino shouting at Ineffa, trying to get her to wake up, she hears these wishes, these wants from Aino. I want krumkakes. And so a frying pan appears in her hands. She looks at it, she's not exactly sure what it is, how to use it. She is still learning, still becoming a person. But before she can fully get a grasp of the frying pan and figure out how to use it, another command from Aino comes: sweep the floor. And so it transforms in this puff of blue smoke and turns into a broom. And as she rides along the broom, we go outside of her again to Aino questioning why Ineffa won't wake up. It's at this point that we get a glimpse into Aino's past, and Ineffa is watching. It's as if, however it is happening, she is coming to understand her creator. And like I said, it's here that we learn more of Aino. She's an inventor through and through, but she's seen as odd, a black sheep among the fellow kids. Other people claim that her inventions are useless, that they don't work. And we watch as Ineffa repeats mockingly all of these insults that she's heard over her life. You're a dumb street kid with no family. No wonder why your work is trash. Aino is an orphan or otherwise separated or abandoned by her parents. She grew up playing with and making machines and finding comfort in that. And that's enough for her. She has a family. It's right here, she says. It's her robots. The machines she's made. The tools she uses to make them. Others may call her strange. Others may think that she is a loner, weird, whatever it may be, but she finds comfort in these machines. And now, Ineffa, a machine that is much more of an actual person, someone who can actually be a companion, a guardian, a caretaker to Aino. Now, I will acknowledge something sort of interesting is in this shot, she has her source core, where in previous shots, it didn't really look like she had it, which is slightly odd with the continuity of we're about to see the source core and how it got into Ineffa's body. So I'm not entirely sure if that's meant to actually be intended or if they just were simplifying the look of it earlier on to not have the pattern and it just always was there. I'm not entirely sure. But it is also possible that it's more so that all of this sudden consciousness and learning and understanding comes from once the core was slotted in and we just didn't see that process. We just sort of jump from when Aino is asking why Ineffa isn't waking up to the source core is in, she is beginning to gain consciousness, that kind of thing. As once Ineffa is directly acknowledged by Aino here when she has the core visible, we transition to her past as a source mechanism, or at the very least the past of her core. It seems like the source construct whose core would then become Ineffa's core was one that, for whatever reason, intentional or otherwise, journeyed the world, ventured far out of Natlan, eventually reaching snow-covered forests, crossing an ocean or a sea, until eventually it broke down and got overtaken by nature, but still continued to move nonetheless. Perhaps it had a purpose for this, or perhaps it was just running on autopilot, moving because it could, but eventually it either fell apart or was dismantled or destroyed, leaving just the core, being left in a scrap heap, somewhere in Nod Cry, presumably, only for Aino to find it, and for it to end up in Ineffa's body. And as slowly Aino falls asleep, waiting to see if Ineffa will wake up, we see a twitch and a shift of Ineffa's hand before Aino falls asleep. But by the time Aino wakes up, she's in bed, and Ineffa is awake as well, making eggs. She's awake and she processed the words that were given to her, her name, her function, and so she greets Aino, introduces herself properly, and from now on, this is my home. Here with you, my creator. It makes me think back to the 5.8 special program and trailer, and the question of where is Ineffa's home, and where is she trying to get back to? But this answers it for me. Before, we just had Aino saying you have to come back home, but we weren't sure what Ineffa considered home. Now we know that Ineffa thinks home is with Aino, so she will return back to Aino if she can help it. But that is the end. That is what they give us. Just that one little answer and this glimpse into the beginning of Ineffa as a person. It's really cute, it's really wholesome, it's really interesting to see, but it still leaves me with some questions. Why did that source mechanism end up so far from home? Was it venturing out for a purpose? Is there something truly special about the source core inside of Ineffa? It's something we'll have to find out inevitably. But ultimately, I'm just impressed that they went this hard for Ineffa. Ineffa's an interesting character, and don't get me wrong, but the fact that we are on the cusp of Nod Cry and a ton of highly anticipated characters, and who knows, maybe they're just upping their level of quality here and will keep going. But it's interesting to me that they give the fully animated and interesting style teaser to Ineffa right before we're going to be getting some of these heavy hitters. I am not at all complaining though. It's an absolute delight to watch, and it makes me excited for the future. But with that, I think I will end things there. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and very special thanks to all of my channel members, being Desaize and Pokelove101 at the normal tier, and Kondo Nano at the cool person tier. Really appreciate your support, as always, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye!